What's going on YouTube? This is your boy Tatted Collector. Now July 24th marks my 6-month anniversary on YouTube. That's just in 5 days from now. Now around the 3-month mark I made a small collection video. Well, it's been 3 months later and the collection's grown a lot bigger. Also, this channel's grown a lot bigger as well. We're around the 1,150 subscriber mark. That's 1,150 subscribers and well over 50,000 views. And I can't thank each and every one of you enough for all of your generosity and all of your support to the channel. Alright, you ready to take a look at the collection? Let's go! Okay, so we're going to start off with a panorama view of the game room. And my game room is also my bedroom. Now, I do have plans on converting my living room into my game room. And I am looking for ideas. I am looking for suggestions and any type of advice that any of you can give me. So if you have any advice for converting my living room into the game room as cheaply as possible, I do not want to spend a lot of money on construction of it, please let me know in the comments below. So we're just going over everything here. I do have the windows open for a little bit of extra lighting in the room. As you can see, here's the bed right here. I am also a Batman collector, so my bedroom incorporates a little bit of both of what I collect. Alright, so there's the panorama view, and now we will just dive into each little section separately. Alright, so when I started the channel, all I had was this black bookshelf. A lot of you who have been subscribers since day one can remember that this is all I had. And it wasn't even 3 rows full. I've accumulated most, well, a lot of Wii, but most of my collection consists of PlayStation, PS1, PS2, PS3, and PS4, which is everything on these 2 shelves. Now, excuse the shadows. This white bookshelf I just picked up last week. It does need repainting, and I have intentions on eventually painting it black. But how I have this set up is that I did have PS1 and PS2 all coming down here, and PS3 all in alphabetical order. Well, now I've got it going this way. So now we start off with PS1, and we make our way going here, and then down to the next shelf, and then down here. I do need to move these shelves up, and so that they are even with this shelf. I did do it for this one, and I just hadn't got around to doing it for the other 2, or the other 3, excuse me. But that will be done. Like I said, it all needs painting anyway. All right, so we'll go over some highlights of each platform here. So for PS1. Let's see. I accumulated Dino Crisis and Dino Crisis 2 all in one lot, as well as Clock Tower. Also in that lot was, let's see, my Resident Evils and Legend of Dragoon. So I was able to acquire Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, Director's Cut, Legend of Dragoon, Dino Crisis 1 and 2, and Clock Tower, all for $26. The lady wanted $4 each, except for Legend of Dragoon. She wanted $7, and we settled on $26 even. And I found this lot of these 5 PlayStation games on OfferUp. Now, if you know anything, Clock Tower is about $100 game. So when I saw this pictured in all of her PlayStation games, I immediately messaged her and I said, yes, I'm interested in some of the games you have. Here's what I want. The very next week, I found another copy of Legend of Dragoon at the pawn shop for $1. And so that worked out real well for that. Alright, so I'm just going to stack these and we'll move on. Now, of course, you can see Rule of Rose here for the PS2. That is probably my most expensive game in my entire collection. It is complete, and you can check out the video where I picked that up and how much I paid for it. Also some highlights for the PS2. We got Armored Core 9-Breaker. These are always nice to find, are the Buffy the Vampire Slayer games. Moving on down, we've got, let's see, Manhunt is a phenomenal horror game made by Rockstar, makers of your Grand Theft Auto series. And Mr. Mosquito, I actually found this on Let Go for $3. The lady had it listed, she had it pictured like that, and I messaged her immediately. Now, I actually found this within a 500-mile radius search of my zip code. When I get on Let Go and I'm not finding anything in the immediate area, I will search outside of my area, and I'll message people and ask them if they would be willing to ship. And if they are willing to ship and they have PayPal, well then we'll set it up. Let's get it going. And I have found a lot of stuff doing that. Another highlight is a sports title, Madden 12. This is the last Madden made for the PlayStation 2, so it still holds value. If you ever come across Madden 12 on the PlayStation 2, definitely pick that up if you can get it for cheap. I believe it still goes for around the $20 mark. Not too terribly, pricey like NCAA 14. It's going for around $30, $35. But for the PlayStation 2, you want to be on the lookout for Madden 12 and NCAA Football 11. This is the last NCAA game made for the PS2, and this still sells for $20 to $25. Alright, let's see some more highlights on the PS2. Okay, we got Ease, the Ark of Nepishtim. This is about a $30, $35 PS2 title. I got this in a big lot on eBay, and it was like $49.99 or best offer. I offered him, I believe it was $45, and that was with free shipping. And I got a ton of PlayStation 2 games off this guy. Zone of the Enders was one of them, and several others. Then from Facebook Marketplace, we cannot forget, I'm forgetting my PS2 over here. So as I'm going down this shelf, just realize I still have more PS2 over here. All right, so off of Facebook Marketplace, I found a very nice lot from a guy that was getting rid of his PlayStation 2 and over 100 games. So I messaged him and I said, hey, is this still available? He said, well, I've got someone coming over to take a look at everything, but if that falls through, here's my number. I'll message you and you can just give me a call. So he sent me his number. Well, then a few hours later, he messaged me and said, hey, they never showed up. So give me a call and I'll go over every single title that I have. So as he's going over every single title that he has, because the picture that he had on Facebook Marketplace was very blurry and I couldn't make out the names of any of the titles. So as he's going over the titles, I said, yes, I want that one. Yes, I want that one. And I picked out about 20 titles. 3 out of those 20 titles was the Xenosaga series, 1, 2, and 3, and they were all complete. Xenosaga 3 being the breadwinner there. That's still a $70 to $80 game. So very nice. Very happy to pick that up in the collection. I also picked up The Thing from him. That's a good title there to have. And I think the rest of it's on this other side. Alright, so let's move to the other side. Chorok is an Atlas title. Anytime I see Atlas, I'm going to pick it up. They are a phenomenal publisher. And so they have made, a lot of their titles have become rare games and go for really good money. So anytime you see Atlas, just go ahead and pick it up. We've got both Champions, Champions of Norath and Champions Return to Arms. I found both of these in a pawn shop for $1 each. So very nice to pick those up, and they are both complete. We got Def Jam Fight for New York. You know, that's still a $50 to $60 game. I've got Dot Hack Infection, which is not the expensive one. The GU series are they're pretty pricey. The whole bundle here goes for around $80, I believe, somewhere in that ballpark. I picked this up at a yard sale. Well, it was like a little side of the road sale, and this guy had a stack of PlayStation 2 games. It was like over 80 games, and this happened to be sitting there, and so I picked out 40 games from this guy. Paid him $1 each per game, and this game right here goes anywhere between, without the manual, and this does not have the manual, it's around $25 to $30. And so it's just one of those Dragon Ball Z games you need to be on the lookout for, as well as Tenkaichi 3. Fallout Brotherhood of Steel is a uncommon PS2 title. It goes for around $30. I also got this off of the guy that I got the Xenosagas from. And the Dot Hack GU collection here, I also got off that same guy. Moving on down, let's see. Oh, what we got down here? Resident Evil 4 is always a classic. Love that game. It's not an expensive title at all, but very, very nice game. It actually plays really well on the Wii as well. I know that's Ream Bean's favorite port of that game. And so yeah, if you have it on the Wii, definitely give that a run through. Let's see, the Silent Hill series. I just recently added Silent Hill 3 and Silent Hill Origins into the collection. And my Silent Hill 2 is missing the manual, so I'm always looking out for another copy on the cheap where I can upgrade the condition of the one that I already have. But Silent Hill 3 and Origins are both complete. Actually, Silent Hill 3 is missing the soundtrack, so I'm still on the lookout for that. But I got Silent Hill 3 and the Origins on a trade, so that was very nice. And I should be getting some more stuff from that same guy soon. And I believe that's going to do it for highlights on the PS2. We'll move on down to the PS3. There's not so many highlights for the PS3 as far as like expensive titles. I do have a couple. But some really good games on the PS3 would be Alice Madness Returns. That's definitely a staple if you're a PS3 collector. Get that. It's an awesome game. The Batman Arkham series, I mean, you can't go wrong with Batman Arkham at all. Especially the first one. The first one was awesome, and definitely Arkham City. Now, they screwed up on Origins and they let WB get a hold of it. And just the campaign was super short on it. It was very, very disappointing. Alright, moving on down. Let's see. Lollipop Chainsaw. I can't say enough about that game. If you have not played that, definitely pick you up a copy of that and give it a run through. It's pretty out there. NCAA 14, like I said, is your expensive sports title. It still sells for around $30 to $35. Painkiller Hell and Damnation. This is a rather highly uncommon, rare PlayStation 3 title for NTSC, for North America. It was very common in the PAL region. It was also a PC title, and you could download it on the PlayStation Network or off the PlayStation Store. But to have a physical copy of it for North America is very, very uncommon. I found this in a thrift store for $8, and this complete, which it is, can sell anywhere between $60 to $100, just depending on the market. There's hardly any, very few ever listed on eBay, and sometimes you can get them for around $60, and I've seen them listed for $100 as well. So it just depends on what the seller is wanting for it. But if you can ever find this, definitely pick it up. It's worth having in the collection. Alright, I can never talk enough about Red Dead Redemption. Highly, highly, highly recommend this game. I spent probably the most hours on any game ever playing Red Dead Redemption, trying to 100% it, trying to platinum the game. And the Undead Nightmare, fantastic download DLC. Or extra content that they put on another separate disc. The Red Dead Redemption Game of the Year has the Undead Nightmare all on one disc. So if you can pick that up, then you can just have one copy of everything. Silent Hill HD collection, that is Silent Hill 2 and 3 in HD, and they look phenomenal. We also have Silent Hill Downpour. Now, the only one I'm missing off the PS3 is Homecoming, so I'm still on the lookout for it. Moving on down, we've got some PSP and PS4, but we'll go over that in a second. Let's continue on with PS3. Catherine is a awesome Atlas title. Love this game. Love it. Definitely pick that up if you collect for PS3. And you should collect for PS3, because collecting for PS3 right now is stupid dirt cheap. Demon Souls, another awesome Atlas title. Pick that up if you can. Let's see. Moving on. The Fear series is awesome. Okay, so right in the middle of recording, I had someone knock at my door, so I apologize with that. But, like I said, moving on. Yakuza 3, I picked this up for $4 at Pawn Shop, and it is complete. And this game went skyrocketing in price. And I've been seeing copies sell for over $60. I've seen some copies sell for over $70. So definitely pick this up if you can get it on the dirt cheap. Also remember that your PS3 is not region locked. So if you ever come across any PAL titles, pick them up. I happen to come across one. it was Way of the Samurai 3, and it is PAL. And very, very awesome to add into the collection. Let's see. The Testament of Sherlock Holmes, another Atlas title. This is a very interesting, awesome little game. You solve crimes as Sherlock Holmes, and you look for clues, and you try to figure out, you know, what happened in the game. You know, you're trying to figure out what happened in the crime and figure out who did it. Pretty cool. The Spider-Man games I love. They are awesome. And if you can never get them for cheap, they make awesome flippers, because they still sell anywhere between $20 and $25. So if you can get those dirt cheap at a yard sale, pick them up. You can make a little bit of money on them. Alright, moving on down. There are a couple of PSP titles hidden in there, and we got some more hidden in here. I do have another Silent Hill Origins on the PSP. Street Supremacy is a very uncommon slash rare PSP title. When I found it, I started looking it up on eBay, and almost every single listing said rare, hard to find, rare, hard to find. So I did a little bit of research in it, and they just didn't make very many copies of that game. Alright, then moving on, I have a very, very small PlayStation 4 collection. And I do have some... I am keeping Home from Limited Run Games because it is survival horror, and I am a survival horror fan. And it is still factory sealed. I also picked up Little Big Planet 3 factory sealed, and what was that other game? Oh, Destiny 2 factory sealed at a yard sale. The kid wanted $5 for both of them, so I picked them up. And I just hadn't got around to playing them, so they're still sealed. I still have Secret of Mana sealed. I just don't ever plan on opening it, because why? When I can play it on my Super Nintendo. The Evil Within 2, another very awesome horror game. And I do have The Evil Within 1, which is right here. Very awesome horror game. I also have the Rocksmith 2014 edition, complete in box with the guitar cable, and I've had that since it launched. I picked it up when it came out. I do play guitar, and it just seemed like something interesting for me to be able to play on my PlayStation 4, and I kept it complete in box, sealed, or not sealed, but complete in box, and it's still holding value. It's still, the price is still up there on that one. Moving on down, we've got a PlayStation 2 Katana controller, and then we got some strategy guides and some handhelds down in here. Game Boy, DSi, 3DS, the NES version of the Game Boy Advance SP. We got the Donkey Kong 2. I'm sorry about the shadows, y'all. Donkey Kong 2 Game & Watch. And we got my PS Vita, the God of War Ghost of Sparta Limited Edition PSP, and a standard PSP 3000 edition. So that is the entire PlayStation collection right there. On top, I've got boxes. I got PS4, my 3DS box. Right here in this little blue Nintendo protective case, I keep all my notes from subscribers who send me stuff. I've got a couple in there from Reen Bean. I've got a couple in there from Jedi6973. A few others are in there as well. Gotta have the Super Mario. Here's George from Rampage. Empty 360 box. I don't even have a 360. But this guy just gave it to me, and I thought it'd make a pretty cool little display piece. Up here on top, I've got the Disney version Prince of Persia figurines from when the movie came out. Those are all 4 of them. And then I've got some Batman figurines up here. Got some Mario Kart 8 flags I recently picked up at a yard sale. got Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D poster, which is awesome. I do have like some little knick-knack Hot Wheels here and there from subscribers hanging up. There's another one up there. Also from subscriber, I got some Street Fighter figures here. Gotta have Batman. And then moving on along, got the PS3 160 gig box. I do have that. Got the Super Nintendo Classic, the NES Classic, and my small Xbox 360 collection. Now, when it comes to Xbox, I'm only collecting exclusives. Or, if it came out on multiple systems and I don't have it for PlayStation yet, if I haven't found it on PlayStation, but I have found it on the Xbox, well then I will keep it on the Xbox until I can find it for PS2 or PS3. A rather pricey game for the 360, believe it or not, is the Tiger Woods PGA Tour 14 Masters Historic Edition. And this game still fetches between $35 to $40. So nice to have picked that up. I found that at a yard sale for, I got a whole stack of 360 games for like $5. Nothing else too pricey. Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, got that at a pawn shop. I do have a small little PC CSI collection. I love these games. I recently let a friend borrow these, and he loves them as well. He returned them, so I put them back on the shelf. Then we've got my small complete in box Genesis collection here. Like I said, I've only been collecting hardcore for 6 months now, so this is everything that I've acquired since January. We've got GameCube collection here, and fortunately, all of my GameCube games are Black Label. I don't have any Player's Choice. Some highlights, we've got Animal Crossing. That is missing the manual though, so I'm always on the lookout for another copy of that. Chibi Robo, picked that up for $5. It's like a $60+ game. Very, very sought after GameCube game. Some more highlights. I got Kirby Air Ride last week for $3 at a yard sale, and it's complete and minty condition. Luigi's Mansion, I found that at a pawn shop. I found 2 copies actually, one at a yard sale and one at a pawn shop. And the one at the pawn shop was complete, and the one that I picked up at a yard sale actually came in this little case right here. There was a stack of games that were in here, and they were all loose disc, and Luigi's Mansion happened to be one of them. Well, I kept the complete in box, and that's in really fantastic mini condition. Pikmin 2 I got off of Let Go for $4, and it was outside of my area, and she shipped it to me, which was awesome. So happy to have that. Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition, that's a staple in any GameCube collection. And then nothing else really special there. The Wii collection, I did have some high-end heavy hitter titles such as Fire Emblem Radiant of Dawn, Dokapon Kingdom, but they were loose disc, and even loose disc they were selling for an insane amount of money. Fire Emblem I sold for $54.99. Dokapon Kingdom I sold for $89.99. And I was able to get Dokapon Kingdom for $6, and there's a long story behind that. So I made a nice profit on that. And Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn I found in a box full of PlayStation 2 stuff at Goodwill for $20. There was a PlayStation 2 Slim in that box, and I was able to sell that, make my money back, and then anything else that I could sell out of that box was just profit. But some more uncommon titles. for the Wii is Coraline. It's about a $20 title, and you don't come across that title very often. When you do, and you can get it on cheap, go ahead and pick that up. I have a PAL game from the Wii collection here, and that is Doctor Who: Return to Earth. The Wiis are very easily modded. You can easily mod them and take the region lock off of them. And so when you can find PAL games or Japanese games, go ahead and pick them up. Dragon's Lair Trilogy is another uncommon game. I picked that up at a pawn shop for $25. I did throw down a little bit of money on it, but it's worth well over $50, and it is complete. And so I didn't mind going ahead and spending the money on that, because $25 I thought was a fantastic deal. If I would have found that on eBay or Mercari for $25 complete, I would have snatched it up. F1 2009 is a uncommon / rare game for the Wii. It's not worth a lot. You just do not see it very often. And the reason being is that Formula 1 2009, after this year, they said, we are not making any more games for the Wii ever again. And so that is kind of like finding, you know, the last NCAA game on the PlayStation 2. It's just one of those titles that if you can find it, it still holds value. Let's see, moving on along. Let's see what else we got here. Here's an uncommon title. I don't have it complete. It is disc only. I did not sell it because I love this game. That is Lost in Shadow. Very interesting game where you play as a shadow, and everything that you do is in the background of the foreground of the scenery. So you'll see everything in the foreground. What you're doing is playing in the background in the shadows. It's really neat. What else we got in here? Silent Hill. Shattered Memories. I'm still looking for this one on the PS2. Now, I do know a guy that is willing to trade me Silent Hill Shattered Memories, Silent Hill 4 The Room, and buy me the soundtrack for Silent Hill 3 on the PS2. And he's willing to trade me all 3 of those games for my Xenosaga 3. I still don't know what I'm going to do about that, because I only have one copy of Xenosaga 3. So I'm still scratching my head on that one. But I do love the Silent Hill series. Skyward Sword is always a staple to have in any Wii collection. Alright, moving on along. This little bin I keep like little loose batteries in, and tri-wing screwdriver, little loose DS games. I do have some loose Game Boy games in here that I have not added into my binder yet. I have this big 3-ring binder here where I keep most of all of my loose Game Boy games. I've got the Watermelon Red and the Ice Blue 64. They are both working with expansion pack. The Super Nintendo Slim, the standard Super Nintendo, the NES, the Sega Genesis 2. And you'll see like random controllers laying here and there. Game Boy case. Now this is my small Xbox collection. Like I said, when it comes to Xbox, I'm only interested in exclusives. So if you see a title that is not exclusive to the Xbox, that simply means that I don't have it on the PlayStation 2 yet. Like Obscure. Obscure is a horror title that is very expensive on the PS2, but not so much on the Xbox. So the moment I find it on PS2, I'll be happy to get rid of this copy. I don't really have any heavy hitters in the Xbox. Like I don't have, you know, Jurassic Park, Operation Genesis, or Call of Cthulhu, or, you know, some of the more sought after titles. I've just got what I have found in 6 months. I do have Silent Hill 4 The Room. It's not very expensive, but it's still part of the Silent Hill series, which I collect for. You got to have your Star Wars Battlefront. and your Battlefront 2. And there's Jedi Knight Academy, Knights of the Old Republic. All of those are awesome games. This is a little bit of a pricey title, and that is the King of Fighters 2003 and 2002 edition. And an uncommon game is Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge. Very uncommon game. Then we also have the Warriors. And then Complete, Conquer, Live and Reloaded. That is complete in box. Next to it, I have a very small Xbox One collection. Nothing special at all, except for The Witcher 3 Complete Edition that I got at a pawn shop for $10. And it's still, when I picked it up, it was still selling for over $30. Moving right along, we've got my one and only PlayStation Vita game, and it is still sealed, and that is Munch's Odyssey from Limited Run Games. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. There it is, Limited Run. And so I picked that up from Limited Run. Then we've got my DS and 3DS collection. And my more uncommon game for the DS would be Coraline. That is complete. And then I've got some awesome titles for the 3DS. Fire Emblem Fates Birthright, Kirby Triple Deluxe, Paper Mario Sticker Star, I think it is, yeah, Sticker Star. Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, Factory Sealed. That is a very uncommon / rare game for the 3DS. Factory Sealed, it could still sell for over $60. So I'm just going to keep it sealed. Super Smash Brothers 3DS. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. And then inside this case is not Final Fantasy. It is actually The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes. I found this at a pawn shop, and the wrong game was in the wrong case. And which I was happy to add a Zelda game instead of a Final Fantasy game. Down here I've got some GameCube controllers. There's like 2 or 3 back here. I've got Blu-rays and DVDs. Sorry about the lighting. I know it sucks. Also down here is the laptop. That's where all the magic for YouTube happens. Right here is my 20th anniversary Mega Man t-shirt signed by Kaiji Inafune, the creator of Mega Man. And moving on along are my cartridge games. And so up top we've got some World of Nintendo figure that a subscriber sent me. A Mega Man figure. Mega Man 2 plug and play. Parzival from Ready Player One. And right here is the making of Donkey Kong Country. And gotta have Super Mario Brothers on VHS. Also is the poster from the Xenosaga 2 strategy guide. I thought that was a really cool poster. So I went ahead and tore it out and hung it up. Right here are my cartridge games. I do not have a whole lot of cartridge games. I just have not come across, and this will not focus. There it goes. Come on, stay focused. All right. I just haven't come across a whole lot in 6 months. I do have majority Super Nintendo than anything else. And I do have quite a few titles that I'm adding extra into this collection that you have not seen yet because I picked them up this week. But here is NES. Nothing heavy hitter in there at all, well, except for G.I. Joe. It's about a $30, $35 game right there. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out is a nice staple to have. But when it comes to Super Nintendo, I don't have a whole lot of heavy hitters, but I do have Battletoads Double Dragon. I got that for $1 at a yard sale. I do have Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I got that from a yard sale. Yoshi's Island. And let's see. Legend of Zelda. It's kind of hard to see in here. I do have Street Fighter Alpha 2, which is around a $40-$45 game. And, but nothing like super crazy. I haven't come across Chrono Cross or Wild Guns or anything like that. Moving on down is my 64 collection. Down here, my most expensive title for the 64 would be Harvest Moon. I have it right down here. Other than that, nothing too crazy. No sculptor's cut or anything like that. Alright, so then let's get up and we'll shut that door. Move on down to the entertainment unit here. And I do have, I believe this is a 60-inch, if I'm not mistaken, smart TV from Vizio. I've got a pair of Astro 50 wireless for the Xbox. These are awesome headphones. The sound quality on them is fantastic. Got the Wii. Here's my Super Nintendo Classic, as well as the Nintendo Classic that I just recently picked up. And then there's my PS3. Right there's my PS4 and Xbox One. And then I've got this slot over here empty. Ready for another console. Got another Batman poster here. Some more Batman stuff here. This is actually a drawing that I did back in high school of Jimi Hendrix. It's a grid drawing. Every grid square has a different texture in it. But when you stand back, you can see Jimi Hendrix in the drawing. I always loved that little piece, so I've kept it framed for all these years. Here is my Sony Trinitron. I picked up at a yard sale for $5. This is where I set up my retro consoles and do my gaming on my CRT here. I do have GameCube with the Wavebird. There's the PS2. And then down here in these boxes I keep like extra controllers and power packs and AV cables, things such as that. There's where none of the magic happens. And some more Batman stuff here. Batman posters. And another Batman poster. But that's it, folks. This is where I sit in that recliner right there. And this is the game room slash my bedroom. And it has grown immensely in 6 months. Like I said, all I started off with was that black bookshelf right there. And I have added so much into this room. I do have some ideas to turn my living room into the game room, and I'm going to cut the video here and we're going to go into the living room, and I'm going to show you the area, show you the space in which I'm working with. I'm working with a lot more space, plus I won't have my bed in there, so that's always a plus. But yeah, here is the game room, and I'm going to show you the space in there. So I'm kind of wanting some ideas of what we can do. Alright, let's go. Okay, first off, ignore the mess in here. It is a mess in this living room. But I'm just going to take a panoramic shot here of what I'm working with. I did open up the windows to allow more lighting in here. Hopefully y'all can see a little bit better. But I have a lot more wall space in here. Now, there's where we just came from. Say hello to my dog. But I've got a lot more wall space in here, a lot more room to work with. Now, my number one goal is to get rid of this couch. I've been meaning to get rid of this couch. It's old, it's nasty, it's ugly, it's got to go. But I don't know what to do with it. I've been wanting to donate it to, you know, a family in need or someone that needs a couch a heck of a lot more than I do. I do have some Batman collection stuff in here. Right here is eBay inventory and some extra consoles that I've picked up recently. And so ideas. I need ideas. You guys tell me. I'm not sitting here trying to bore you, but I did want to show you the space that I'm working with here. Let me see if I can get in the corner and just kind of show you. I have so much more wall space for shelves and to make this area a lot more game room efficient than my bedroom. But I'm never in here. I am hardly ever in this room. I never use that TV, but I don't have any intention on getting rid of it. That is a 3D television, and it's plasma, but it looks really cool when you use the 3D function on it. And I just got some more Batman stuff in here at the moment. So, ideas. Hook me up. Tell me what I can do. I want to custom build everything, so I don't want to spend too much money on like buying bookshelves and whatnot. I didn't mind putting bookshelves in my bedroom because that's all I had at the moment. But for this space, I want to custom build everything. And I want to do it for as dirt cheap as possible, folks. I am very frugal, and I do not like spending a lot of money. I don't like spending money unless I'm making money. And so, let me know what you think. Okay, YouTube, if you've enjoyed the content, go ahead and please leave that thumbs up. The YouTube algorithm loves to see thumbs ups on videos. The more you hit that thumbs up, the more it's going to show up on YouTube as a recommended video for other viewers. Also, if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, by all means hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, hit the little bell icon next to it. That way you get notifications every single time I upload new content. Alright folks, I hope y'all are having a fantastic week. I know I am. I'm Tad Collector, and have a good one.